So you've heard the news, ICE agents are quitting in droves. This is a real thing. Homeland Security can't even hide it. And some ICE agents are only still working there until they get their student loans forgiven. On top of that, when you Google ICE facility attack Texas, you'll see there was an ambush made on ICE agents because people are not only at a threshold, they are past it. But back to Adam Boyd, citing ICE is only chasing deportation quotas. When did that become apparent to you, Adam? Was it when Kristi Noem set the quota at 3,000 deportations a day? Was it when ICE began pulling up to people while getting surgery to deport them? Was it when ICE began deporting people with no criminal record? Or was it when ICE began arresting people at their check-in for their green card? Officers and agents have spent much of the past 5 months clocking weekends and waking up at 4 a.m. for pre-dawn raids. Their top leaders have been ousted or demoted, and their supervisors themselves under threat of being fired or pressuring them to make more and more arrests to meet quotas set by Trump and advisor Stephen Miller. Sad day.
So now ICE agents are starting to quit their job. Why? Why are they quitting their job? Well, now they're afraid that people are going to follow them home. They're going to get doxxed. They're afraid that they're going to be injured on the job. All the stuff that they've been doing to these people. It's crazy. But yeah. And so you got political figures saying, hey, don't communicate like ICE is like the Nazis, or that the detention center is like a concentration camp. They all are starting to say, hey, we're afraid for our safety and things of that magnitude. This is crazy. This is crazy. They got extremely aggressive and have been and probably will still be aggressive for a while. And then if they're quitting, guess what the United States government is going to do? They're going to purchase bounty hunters and mercenaries to do the job.
Breaking news. Good morning, guys. So amazing news this morning. Happy Saturday. So ICE agents are quitting at a fast rate of speed. A lot of ICE agents are saying that this is not what they signed up for, that, they had originally signed up to deport people that, were actually criminals in this country, that, did bad shit. But this is, basically just kidnapping people off the street. So a lot of ICE agents have been resigning, which is fantastic news. Absolutely fantastic news. But again, they have a lot of funding and a lot of people that do not like, us Latinos, Hispanics, and every other race. So we still have to be very careful because they have the way to, as many as are quitting, hire as many as they want. So that doesn't mean that we're safe, guys, but excuse me. But like I said, it is good news. At least we do know that some of the people in there do have morals, I guess, still somewhat. I don't know.
Hey guys, listen, have you been hearing reports of how a lot of the ICE agents are quitting? They're quitting in droves. There's been some reporting on it, but it's just stating that they're quitting in droves. It's not telling you why. That part of the story is not getting a lot of coverage. Yeah, it seems that there was this detention center in Alvarado, Texas, that 11 individuals dressed in black military gear, they created a distraction to get some of the ICE agents out of the building by popping a lot of firecrackers out front. So when they came out, they assaulted them. Well, they shot at them, or they attacked them, put them that way. They were shooting at them.
Apparently, it's not just Adam Boyd, the Gestapo attorney, who quit. Apparently, these Gestapo, aka ICE agents, are quitting in droves. Many of them citing that they are fearful for their lives. Oh, poor little babies. Or they're worried about their addresses being doxxed. I love that for you guys. I really do. You deserve it. You really do. But they're quitting in droves. And you would think that they would be quitting because they have a moral compass, or they realize that that institution is evil, or they realize that working for the Gestapo American Gestapo is just like working for 1939 Germany Gestapo. You would think that would be their reason for quitting.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are diving into something that's not getting enough attention, but it's been quite shaking things up behind the scenes. I'm talking about the mass resignations happening inside ICE, US Immigration and Customs Enforcement. More and more agents and legal staff are quitting, resigning, or simply walking away from the job. And the common thread running through all of this chaos, one name, Stephen Miner. That's right, the man behind some of the harshest immigration policies during DT's first term is back in power, and his process is wreaking havoc from the inside out. What was once a powerful government agency is now cracking under pressure, and even ICE agents themselves are saying enough is enough. If you're coming across this channel for the first time, my name is Rosemary. Kindly consider subscribing, give this video a thumbs up, and let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Before we get to the video, let me play a few clips on the same, and I'll be back with my comment. All credit goes to the original creators of these videos.
And the police arrived, and one of the police officers got shot in the neck in the line of duty. But they also they were unloading several rounds on the agents that did come outside. They were caught, they were all arrested. 10 are charged with attempted murder. But see, now you understand why they're quitting. See, it was all fun. And they hearts were, they had that blood pumping and that adrenaline pumping when people were laying down, bowing down, not, being submissive when no one was fighting back. It was giving them every feeling and thrill they needed. It was that fake bravery. But the moment the resistance started popping out, like when they went to Little Hades, yeah, like out in California. See, when you start bucking back the smallest amount of buck, that cow would pop out. They heart jump up in their throat. And see, that's not part of what they envisioned. See, it's easy to be brave when someone is cowering down, when someone is not resisting. But when someone is fighting for their life, and you see that, then that coward in you, the coward in you is going to pop out. You were selling wolf tickets. So now there have been some reports of some of the ICE agents, saying, oh, we're being doxxed. The protesters are coming to our homes. They're going to our wives' jobs. Well, y'all were going to somebody's wife's jobs too and snatching them out. Y'all was going to somebody's husband's job and dragging them out.
Look, it's not something that's sustainable. Going out and treating people like this is not sustainable. People will rise up, and there's never going to be enough of individuals to treat people this bad in these United States in this current time for people not to step up and say something. So, hey, probably shouldn't have got that job. Probably shouldn't have started. It might have been something that you wasn't even as excited about. You probably got pushed into it. But I'm not giving anybody any outs. You did the work. You treated people like crap. And now you're running with your tail tucked between your legs saying, oh, I don't want to get doxxed. I'm afraid that there's going to be injury on the job and all these other different things. This is crazy, y'all. But this is exactly what we're going through. This instability in our economy, this is instability in our government. People making immoral decisions. It's ridiculous.
He may be entirely missing the point that their ICE agents' conditions were perceivably comfortable up until now, but once the public began calling them out as cowards with masks for fear they'd be doxxed and experience the modicum of the treatment they doled out, now they're uncomfortable. Now they're uncomfortable. They were comfortable treating people like this. They were comfortable breaking up families. They were comfortable doing all the horrible things that they were doing up until now when they were pointed out for doing it. Now we're finding out who is behind the masks of the ICE agents are just a bunch of county correctional officers who have been deputized. And apparently, according to Adam Boyd, people who want loan forgiveness. Think about that. Would you be willing to break up families, do all these horrible things so your student loans could be forgiven?
Right now, ICE is under enormous pressure to deliver massive deportation numbers. Under Stephen Miller's command, the agency has been given a strict mandate to conduct at least 3,000 arrests per day. This is not a recommendation, it's a demand. Officers that fail to meet that quota are being punished. Leaders are being reassigned, demoted, or outright removed from their position. It doesn't matter how long someone has served or how well they are performing in the past. All that matters now is hitting the daily numbers. This pressure cooker environment has created a culture of fear and burnout within ICE, pushing many to the breaking point. The focus has shifted from thoughtful immigration enforcement to meeting arbitrary arrest targets, and people are walking away because they can't keep up with the pace of the politics. What's even more disturbing is how the core mission of ICE has been flipped on its head. Before, agents were largely focused on targeting serious offenders, criminals, gang members, and individuals who pose a real threat to the public safety. But now, it's not about safety anymore, it's about volume. Agents are being told to grab whoever they can. Day laborers, long-time residents with no criminal record, people who have been severely overstayed visas. According to former ICE attorneys and staff, it's no longer a matter of doing what is right or necessary. It's about ticking names over it to certify a political narrative. The transformation has left many within the agency feeling disillusioned. They didn't sign up to be part of a political stand. They signed up to enforce the law with integrity. But under Miller's rule, enforcement has been reduced to a number game, and that's why so many are throwing in the towel. One of the biggest sources of frustration for ICE agents and officials is Stephen Miller himself. Despite not holding any official ICE position, Miller is reportedly calling the shots from behind the scenes, setting deportation quotas, deciding who gets fired, and reshaping ICE priorities around his own extreme agenda. His influence is so intense that even ICE leadership is scared to challenge him. It's been reported that he personally ordered the removal of top ICE officials who didn't meet performance expectations. These were not junior employees, they were seasoned professionals with years of experience, and yet they were treated as disposable. Miller's control over ICE is just unusual. It's unprecedented, and for many within the agency, it feels like they are working under a shadow government, where decisions are made not based on policy, but on one's man's personal against immigration. And all of this has had a devastating effect on morale within ICE. From the top down, agents, attorneys, and support staff are reporting a toxic and hostile work environment. Many say they feel micromanaged, unsupported, and completely cut out of any meaningful decision making. Former ICE lawyers have publicly stated that the agency has lost its sense of purpose. It's no longer about protecting the country, it's about pleasing political insiders. One legal staffer even described the workplace as miserable, saying they were constantly forced to compromise their ethics just to keep their jobs. When a workplace becomes this toxic, it's not only natural that people start heading for the exit. And that's exactly what we are seeing, whether through early retirement, resignations, or just going radio silent. More and more people are saying they want no part in what ICE has become. And without an experienced hands guiding the process, the agency risks becoming more chaotic and less effective, not more. Looking ahead, the future of ICE is uncertain. If the resignation continues, and there's every indication that they will, the agency could face a serious staffing crisis. Leadership is already being reshuffled, and morale is so low that recruitment and retention may suffer long term. At the same time, the public image of ICE is worsening. Many Americans, including conservatives, are beginning to question whether the agency is being used as a political tool rather than a law enforcement agency. There is also growing concern that the intense focus on arrest quotas could lead to more legal challenges, lawful detentions, and public backlash. The question now is whether ICE can collect of its own path to self-destruction under Stephen Miller's leadership. Right now, it's time to see how things get better without a major overhaul. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.